watching the WPH Senior Race for 8 Men's Finals. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Hall of Famer John Bike as Marco Chavez is going up against Tyler Hamel. Second year in a row, Tyler's made the finals of this here tournament in the senior bracket. He's a local hometown hero.
No bad bounces.
Referee is Nadi Alvarado Jr.
Really hard to hit that. If you hit it, you hit it. All right.
You're discussing the one bad bounce on the court is the go cam. Is that what they're talking about right now?
No, there's a bad bounce up there at the center of the court. There's like an alarm system or some kind of sprinkler dead center.
That's the only one we're playing. Okay,
and also the GoPro is a bad bounce.
This will be interesting mainly to the old school aficionados. In the pro game, the ceiling has almost become obsolete because you never score a point off it, and as soon as you hit one too hard or too short, it gets killed immediately. You're going to see two guys here that can go high if like right now we're seeing it. So fans of old school handball will enjoy this match with these old school players.
Side out.
Beautiful touch.
Tyler Hamel probably knows his court better than anybody, except Marcos has played like 14 matches on it.
Marcos caught up to him.
This tournament
might have played as much this week as
25, yeah.
As Tyler has ever played.
That comes up often in sports. The player has to ask during the game, so what are we playing to? He just got the format straight. Just okay, well, if it's only one game, then I'm going to get after it right now.
Yeah, you see he changed the pace.
That's probably smart against Tyler. Marcos, and I learned a lot listening to Marcos last night broadcasting. He really is a student of the game. And he is elected to come out firing for this match. He usually doesn't do that, but he has decided that with Tyler Hamel, that's the best option.
Well, I don't think he was going to until the referee said it was a 1 game to 25. He goes, wait a second, I'm in a sprint here.
Yep.
Not a marathon, so I'm going to change my style.
And against the younger players, he did not show that serve too often. Now he feels he's the younger player for the first time all weekend. He was the younger player with Alvarado, but he prefers to slow it down with him as well.
3 serves 1.
Younger player by about 9 months.
Point.
Fascinating.
4 serves 1.
Probably more power serves than Marcos has hit all weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
We've just seen right here.
Side is out.
Tyler hits that familiar left corner kill.
By the transitive property of handball, Marcos is probably favored to win about 25-10. Alvarado got 12 points off him. And we remember that epic final last year where Alvarado defeated Hamel 35-33, the longest match ever. So
second serve.
That's all working in Marcos's favor.
Marcos is really tired. After this, he has a 5th place final that he's going to play immediately following this match. And Marcos says, hey, I play 20 games of big ball every day, so why would I be tired?
And he's putting an exclamation mark on that statement with the way he's come out here. He's going all out. At some point, though, the legs have to start getting a little heavy.
Well, he kind of showed it there. Marcos could have dove in, but he says, you know, this is early.
Interesting to see what Marcos does in Denver. He could be a guy. He's put himself in the race for 8 conversation, and that's the one everybody wants. In Denver, will he go this 2-way route again?
3 serves 4.
New York will probably determine that. New York is only a pro stop, no senior event.
And Marcos is not traveling to New York.
Second serve.
You said that for sure, really.
Yeah.
That surprises me a little.
Me too.
Is he going to the All-Ireland regionals qualifying, or D. Pitty got some tournament going on or something? Look at that.
Thank you. Good call.
Nadi, excuse me. Luis Moreno said in a very overconfident way, after Dan Armijo and I win this doubles, we're splitting it 80% me, 20% him. Just wanted to let you know before it happens.
It's actually 83-16.6.
Okay.
I've already heard the breakdown.
Okay.
83 repeating 3 and 16 repeating 6.
Well, I was going to get out and get the calculator to try to figure out what it was.
But I'm glad you. No, he's getting 83%. The hand has already broke it down for me. He said he just wants to be in the event, in there competing, and get $200 of expense money. That's what hand is going to take.
5 serves 3. Side is out.
3, serving 5.
Hamel also opting for the power serve. And I question that a little. I think his most effective power serve, he hits a beautiful slider down the right side. I don't think he uses it enough against
4,
right-handed players.
serves 5.
A right-handed player will not punish him the way he locates it. He should have no fear going to the right side. I'd like to see him do that more.
You might remember, John, you were at this tournament when Tyler Hamel and Marco Chavez had that amazing, energetic Detroit matchup where Marcos was down pretty big and he came back, went out in the crowd and started giving.
Marcos and I were discussing that last night. It was actually 8-0 in the breaker, and he turned that around.
He started doing high fives in the crowd during timeouts, getting the crowd into it, and then went back in and started picking off points against Hamel. Hamel calls a timeout. Marcos goes out. They cheer for him, and he starts running up and down the crowd, giving high fives. And he felt, or he heard that Tyler felt it was a little disrespectful. I didn't hear Tyler ever say anything negative about it. It was actually a fun match. Marcos doesn't show that type of emotion. He was just having fun. But he ended up coming back to defeat Tyler. 11-0-8.
I believe it was 11-8 or 11-9.
11-9, I believe, in the breaker. And now you see that familiar smile on Marcos's face.
Serves 5.
6-5 score. Now they're, I think, the first time they've matched up since. That was 2008. Tyler just knows how to get his hand on every ball. Wow, nice shot. I believe Marcos extended himself right there because Tyler extended himself.
They're both, there's nothing held back here. Nothing going to be left in the tank. I mean, Marcos, this is his main objective. I believe this is his priority over 5th place in the pro event. And then I'm sure against McCarthy, he'll be reverting to the slow it down style.
8, serving 5. Side out.
Marcos unable to play that ball correctly off the back wall. Side out, 5-8. Hamel, 1 game to 25 will determine the winner here.
I mean, Luis wins the golden ball pretty much every tournament, but the discussion for second is an interesting one. It would have to be Marcos or Nash. Now, Nash did beat him head up, but what's happened since then?
5.
Well,
very impressive.
There's the impressive performances really came from, you know, getting off and forgetting about what Luis Moreno's done, because that's kind of expected, like you said.
He's like LeBron, except not this year so much.
Nash, Marcos, and then even Dave Fink.
David Fink,
and also Emmett.
Most improved, cheekiest or something. We have to create an award for him. Absolutely.
And Dave Chapman's punishing of Martin Mulkerns and then making the doubles finals.
Yep,
was impressive. But
great to see David back. This is going to be a fascinating year. Boy, what an incredible Final 8 we could have in Salt Lake.
It's not going to be as easy for Paul Brady as he may seem to just come into a couple tournaments and get points. These guys are really cranking it up. What would happen if Paul Brady drew Luis Moreno in an opening round?
If he draws Moreno, well, he could get him in his quarter. He wouldn't get him in the first round unless a qualifier beat him. But that's a good point.
Luis would have nothing to lose because certainly he already has all the points to be in.
Luis would be like defending, like, I can keep you out of the final one.
Yeah, true. The race starts in that tournament that Paul Brady enters.
What an important draw that will be.
Side is out.
When Paul Brady qualifies, and not so much for his opening round match, but yeah, which quarter is he going to be drawn into?
5, serving 9.
5-9 though here. Senior race finals. Tyler Hamel, still such a smart handball player.
Yeah, he was extremely tough out for
9, serving 5.
At our absolute primes, he'd always extend Chapman and myself right to the limit. Had a little harder time with Alvarado and Silvera, the pure power.
Wow.
Tyler. Oh. Okie dokie. 10 serves 5.
And one of the cool things about this senior event, besides getting to see a different style, is, I mean, the three participants here, including the referee, they've got like 20 years history with each other. They're just all maximum mutual, I don't know if respect's the word,
5 serving 10.
knowledge of each other.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think also Nadi Alvarado, who does not ref a lot of matches, knew exactly what he was going to get in this match
serving 10.
and decided that, hey, there's no way you can go wrong here. I know both of these guys. They know me. I know their game. They're not going to argue. You saw that Tyler could have easily have taken a screen call just a few shots back and decided to let it go off the back wall because he had a setup, and then there was a bad bounce.
That's the Canadian.
And even then, Nadi said, you want a screen? And he said, no, I wanted it off the back wall. It just took a bad bounce. So Tyler got
8 serves 10.
Right, Tyler could have played up, I wanted to fly that 80-mile-an-hour rocket. And Nadi would have believed him, but Nadi knew he'd give him the honest answer if he asked.
There's another point. Tyler not going away. And the transitive handball properties not necessarily holding true here. That's a good call from Nadi.
So we could see, I mean, historically, Marcos and Nadi Jr. are much closer than that 25-12 outcome.
Side is out.
So could we see something better than the epic 35-33 final last year? Is that in the
10
could that be in the works? Could we go in the 40s in the win by 2?
I'm not sure this one will even end. Marcos does a punch, fist, re-kill there.
Well, since the
11 serves 9.
The tournament director crew has already stated they want the open doubles on this court as soon as possible. I think that guarantees this is going to be a very long match.
Yeah, it
Look
shouldn't
at
have been
Marcos
said.
going fastball again.
Shouldn't have been said publicly.
12 serves 9.
12-9 Chavez here. One game match 25. There is a halftime at 15. Win by 2. Wow. And that's that thing that Marcos does when he wants to load up and hit it.
Finish line's in sight for him.
Really remarkable power when he wants to do it.
And this in what is his 19th match of the tournament, is it?
It's actually his 18th.
13 serves 9.
Yeah. Perhaps hitting the ball harder than he's hit it all weekend. Probably the smartest strategy.
Nine serving 13.
You know, this is an interesting matchup because Tyler will play a methodical game with you and push you around the court, and every rally seems to be 20 shots, even though they're probably averaging more like 10 or 11. But
13.
Marcos has so many matches underneath his belt here to just 2 for Tyler Hamel.
Short.
And we're talking 6 matches or more for Marco Chavez, and Tyler's only got 2, and they're about the same age. And
Side is out.
Tyler being slightly a couple years older, but you see Tyler can just push him around and get his legs even more tired. So this has a pretty cool polarization between the two.
Short.
They've taken different routes to this match for sure.
Second
I
serve.
think if we actually go back and crunch the numbers out of memory, I believe this is actually Marcos's 8th match. He had 2 qualifiers, 2 masters, and I believe 3 in the pro draw so far.
Hold it, sorry.
With counting the drop down.
Right.
So I'm thinking this might be his 8th.
10 serving 13.
And he, from flying in late Thursday night after weather-related complications.
Yeah, I forgot about that. His flight was canceled, and he found a way to get here.
Through the help of Owen Gloves, he started from scratch. Totally ate that ticket on the canceled flight, I believe.
That's true.
Point.
Spend an extra $600 just to make it here, and look what he's done.
To New York, and I still don't understand. He makes this gargantuan effort to be here in this position.
Hold it.
Well, I think his focus, and you said it earlier, is just really the senior tour. I think he thinks that it's just bread and butter, or I should say, you know, icing on the cake, whatever happens in the pro draw, but his real focus is this match.
Serving 13.
And now I think he has to recalculate everything.
Short.
It'd be interesting if he came second in this event, which is still in play here. Hamel's proving this is an even match, but
Side is out.
because Nadi Alvarado Jr. dabbled in the senior event last year
12.
and just won every event he was allowed to enter easily.
Yeah.
While being a top 4 pro player. Marco's no worse than 6th, possibly 5th in the pro draw, but maybe 2nd here.
Oh, that's going to be a big setup here for Marcos. Ball just sliding that wall, though, from Tyler's defensive play. And another long rally again, John. This has to wear down on Marcos, and he took care of it.
But yeah, that's gone on about long enough. We're going to end it right here, one way or the other.
It's nice to see that the announcer's curse has been 100%.
I have
this
just
tournament.
been locked in. I mean, every time I just make any reference to the eventual winner, it's a guaranteed 3 or 4 point run against him. I was on fire last night. I thought you and Robbie were going to win.
Halftime.
Thank you.
Marcos, you'll serve.
Marcos is leading here at half. We're going to take a 3-minute break. We'll be right around the corner back with more action. Stay here. It's the senior finals in Houston, Texas at the senior race stop #1. We'll be back for John Bike, Dave Vincent here at racefor8.com.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
At shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Zions, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Back at the senior race stop #1, Houston, Texas, YMCA. My name is David Vincent alongside Jonathan Bike.
15 serves 12.
15
Boy,
to 12.
I like that boost up. I'm generally tired of public service ads because I hear a lot of my local sports station, but that one's, I love that LeBron James ad we just saw.
Very nice. Score here is 15 to 12 with Chavez serving and in the lead. Tyler dives in, gets it. Marco's unable to do so. Side out.
That's something maybe the veteran players do better than the top guys. Just a super soft rekill. You can hit it higher on the wall and it's not coming out far at all.
Boy, that ball could have been called short. Not though, just over the line. And Marcos does something that the young guys do though.
Yeah,
rekill your serves.
I was just making that one isolated point.
Yeah,
that
you're right.
Particular shot, taking something off the rekill.
It's a point.
Well, I thought Darman Nash had a pretty good soft rekill, but you didn't see it in that.
Boy, did he ever in the tiebreaker last night.
Yeah, you didn't see it in the finals, but you saw it yesterday.
Remarkable, but while you were playing, the way he actually had to win rallies in that match against Bichotte. I mean, it really took something special almost every point.
Replay.
And that's one of the things he was doing. Phenomenal
16
retailing.
serves 12. Good try.
Good try.
17 serving 12.
A different line of respect here with these senior players. You see they come in and just do their business. They don't argue, and for the most part. But well, we'll talk about it here in a second. Nice soft
hook there.
I like that. Oh, does a chisel, left-handed tomahawk from Marcos. He calls that the chisel.
18 serving 12.
It's you've attained a high status when you're naming your own shots and nobody's questioning you.
Wow. There's some elite play. 2 shots in a row now from Chavez. He does the chisel on one and then the blaster with an open hand to the left.
So the director's call after this is either Chavez McCarthy or the open doubles final, which is joined in progress.
Well,
side is out.
When you have Luis Moreno and David Chapman, though, no disrespect, no insult to Marcos and Robbie. If you get a chance to
hold on.
see more Chapman
12
and Moreno.
serving 19. That's a point.
Hamel with his first point of the second half.
13 serving 19. Point.
Howdy Alvarado calling a good game, but really, how could you not? These
14 serving 19.
A potential perfect game as far as we know, because if he missed any calls, the players never disputed it.
Yeah, they'd never let us know. But you are watching good handball. I thought it was going to be sloppy at the beginning, but you can see that these guys have a good approach with each other.
Two very sure-handed players living up to that expectation of limited hand errors.
Marcos puts that in a great defensive spot. And then
side is out.
Unorthodox,
you guys.
so nonchalant, left-handed kill right in front of Tyler with about as much confidence as you can possibly get with a shot.
I've got 19 serves 14.
Oh, I like that paddle right there. Unbelievable. And then
Marcos made him pay. And then you're right. That was an excellent, safe choice. I might have considered dumping it in the right corner, a higher risk shot. And so he hits a perfect shot to the left corner, but not quite perfect as it turned out.
20 serving 14.
There's the announcer's curse again. What does it take to make these guys make a hand error? I know. Mention that they never make hand errors.
21 serves 14.
Well, these guys will never donate their cash back to the Tahiti fund.
There'll be no chance of any fines happening here.
Nobody's going to get a technical from the referee.
Marcos has earned so much coin that he's actually been invited to that Tahiti trip. He's between the interviews and the filling in the broadcasting and the sheer amount of webcast time on the court.
And the opposite has been said for Dave Fink, who
Marcos might take David's spot.
Yeah, that's how good his tournament had turned out. Dave actually won a lot of money in this tournament as well as points, but he actually had to open up the checkbook when we wrote the check to him because
I believe the number was $1,300 in prize money and $1,500 in fines.
Yeah, so it's the rare time that a player actually gives you $200 and actually cuts the check that you wrote them previously for $1,300. So it's not the first time it's happened. I mean,
and you figure that he is paying taxes on that $1,300.
Yeah.
You have to give him the $1,300, and then the $1,500 comes out of his pocket. So that's all in all a bad financial weekend for the raging lunatic.
That's his new nickname.
Yeah, I got Tyler serving.
Not being disparaging.
14,
it's actually
21.
a nickname.
Short.
I prefer the Irish version though, the FD.
Second serve.
FD to the WPH. You distanced yourself from that very quickly. Said, no, when he's on the court, he is not. He's not a WPH employee.
Well, it's a rare time that a player whose nickname is DF actually has a new nickname of FD.
What's an anagram?
Yeah,
very primitive anagram.
FDDF.
We'll go with that then.
Check that ball real quick.
I think they think it's broken.
Chavez only 4 points from victory here.
Replay.
And there was a broken ball.
So he's coming up on close to 200 points scored this week, and he will probably crack that barrier against McCarthy.
Which is also going to be another record.
Because his only losses, he scored 20 and 21, and he'll be in his 9th match with McCarthy. So he only needs 9 or 10 points to actually hit the, I don't know if that's ever been done in a singles event. All singles, 200 points won. Look that up.
14 serves 21.
Good shot. Side out.
'21 serves 14.
I believe he scored 187 so far.
Short.
Finishing this match would get him to 191.
Second serve.
It's got to be a record.
I think it is.
Side is out.
'14 serves 21. Point. '15 serves 21.
Tyler resorting to the closed fist to generate power, and then the soft kill. That was a very well played rally. And the referee, you like the ongoing commentary. He's appreciating it as well. But it's like a chess game. They're physically moving each other around the court right now. Like that court's a checkerboard, chessboard.
21.
And they're just getting moved from spot to spot.
That's true, but he's also getting points. Marcos dives in and skips it in, and now 17 to 21. Hamel not going away, and
Chavez stuck on 187.
17 serves 21.
really like that cadence from Nadi, and there's another point. Now at 18 to 21,
First
going to 25, and a timeout called from Marcos Chavez.
I don't want to jinx it, but we could be going into the 30s here, David. I just did jinx it.
18-21.
Well, if you would have said we won't go into the 30s,
okay,
then you would have
30s.
Then you possibly could have got that result. Now that you said we could be, it won't happen because the announcer curse is actually 100% this weekend.
And it lasts too. It's not just the next rally. It like changes the whole momentum for 3 or 4 points at a time.
I made that silly comment very early on before I knew that that was going to be a 100% weekend. I said, you know, relax, people really like me. Not so much.
And that's been an ongoing curse for the entire weekend. Yeah, the absolute opposite has been proven.
That started it. I think that was what that created the curse.
And the worst thing is, before you said it, it was true.
Yeah, of course. Here it's 18 to 21. It's a one-game match to 25. The seniors love that one-game match too, by the way. They
get to go all out from point number one. And as we saw, that proof of it, Marcos, upon finding out the format, just entirely changed his strategy.
Well, and that has actually wore him down just a tad.
21.
As he is now finding himself calling timeouts here, and there's another skip now 19 to 21, and Tyler's not going away.
19, hold it, sorry. 19.
You wonder if Hamel's carrying any baggage at all from last year's result, where he scored 33 points in a game to 25.
Wow, bad bounce over there. There was a bad bounce, and Tyler played it perfectly. Readjust those feet. You know what we haven't seen is any hand airs from Tyler here on this run.
There it is. Here comes one. So we haven't seen a hand air since the last time we mentioned that there haven't been any hand airs.
That was about, I don't know, 11 points ago combined, where Tyler had that nice run.
That is remarkable, though. I've been watching carefully for those since we brought it up, and I believe that was the only one. But you know there's one coming right now.
Okay, I got 21.
Dave Fink says that if the announcer
19.
curse happens while you're actually saying it, it's called the announcer cursing.
The gerund form of the word.
And if you're thinking about saying it and it happens right before you say it's the pre-cursed. Now that's a huge setup down the middle. Tyler doesn't hit the right shot there, but Marcos doesn't get it anyway.
Low enough. He did hit it low enough, like the body serve. Marcos anticipating to the left side. And
I thought that Tyler would go with a 2-wall pass or go down the right wall.
I would have thought, yeah, right wall I think would have been the safest kill there.
Okay, Marcos is going to step into this thing. Watch this.
Side is out.
And he goes for that right corner kill. Marcos wants to get to 25 and have a 2-point lead at that 25 to win the senior finals. Wow, has to extend again, and Tyler just keeps this ball alive.
Point.
He kept it alive, but he hit it down the middle.
Yep. Marcos did dictate that entire point. Tyler never really had a chance to get in it. Are they between games already?
22 serves 19.
Good shot.
Nineteen serves 22.
I just made that up. They came in for rules interpretation. I had no idea what the right call was, but I sold the call I made.
That was good. As Tyler goes in and flips the ball to the front wall and gets a flat rollout up there. And if we're going to ever look at a replay, that'd be a good one.
But Luis popping in the booth with a question about that doubles match just reminded me those are 4 of my favorite people in handball. I want me some of that match so badly.
Me too, actually. But I like the ending of this one. Oh, and Marcos almost got hit by that miss hit, that swing and miss.
Well, Marcos knew how much he hooked it. Tyler obviously didn't.
There's a
rally before. A couple high-quality points in a row.
22-20 is the score. Scoreboard should say 20 there for Hamel.
The most remarkable thing about last year's epic 35-33 final, you wouldn't think it was possible mathematically in a win-by-2 match, but Alvarado ended that match with 4 consecutive aces. And you ask yourself, how could that happen? But it did.
Huh.
It did.
Okay.
Out of all the incredible things that happened in that match, that was the most incredible. Not 3 aces, 4.
No, 4, yeah, I got you on that.
Hold it.
Oh, and then Tyler jumps over, and the crowd.
And that's another thing. You wouldn't do that to a stranger referee, but Nadi Alvarado has enough history here that they all decided to be funny, and Nadi Jr. coming here probably the better part of 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
That was a great corner kill right there from Tyler Hamel. I mean, he's not normally known to be aggressive like that when he's out of position.
That corner off. But yeah, you're right though. He
20
sees his own finish line in sight. He does not want to score 33 and lose again.
Oh, goes for the crack, gets it, and now 21-22.
And he has a little wiggle room that he could end this with his 25th point if he got hot right now.
21 serves 22.
You'd have to think that Marcos is feeling the pressure.
Side is out.
And that's how he responds, though. They just play. Not only do they play 14 games of big ball per day, but it's also like $10 to $20 on every game minimum. And then, the big games, they'll put more on it. but they're always playing for something. So you're taking just hundreds of clutch shots per day in the big ball world.
Well, Marcos, as soon as I say he was feeling a little bit of pressure, he just so easily and nonchalantly takes that left-handed kill as if there was no pressure, and he forces that side out, now serving at 22-21. But look back, he actually had a pretty big lead there on Tyler Hamel after halftime.
Well, then we came in and projected he would win, and that changed that.
Halftime, he was up 15-12, but then went all the way up to 18-12 and then 19-13, and it looked like he was on such a good run that there's no way Hamel could ever come back. And look at the score now, 21-22, going to 25. This is the men's senior finals in Houston, Texas, at the YMCA. Marco Chavez now gets that side out, and for the first time looks a little tired, but not the type of tired where he's breathing hard tired, just that the muscles.
You think he's got to be getting a little leg weary, a little heavy, but then he just rips a full speed, like first shot of the weekend blast out of the blue. So he's still got enough adrenaline. Perhaps get the 3 points here, perhaps not.
That was a wrong shot. Tyler knew it the second he hit it. That
did not pull it far enough cross court and paid the price.
Well, there was a strange bounce on that left wall. I think it's just enough. Marco's trying to capitalize on that same thing again.
The corner's open and he hits it. He nails it. They're hitting the right shots still at this. And hats off to Hamel, a big comeback in his first round, a very pedestrian effort through his semifinal.
23.
Not really tournament battle tested in the last year, but tough as nails as it turns out. Was he down, was it 18-24 in his opening round match?
Well, I've heard a lot of conflicting reports, but then I just went right to the horse's mouth.
That's a good call.
And asked the horse just to tell me what happened. That horse being Matt McLaughlin. He was up 23-13.
That's what it was. Wow.
Matt McLaughlin was, and Tyler Hamel came back to defeat him.
21-23.
And you don't want to deal with a hot Matt McLaughlin. Matt's got a 10-point lead. You got to figure he's gonna close the deal.
Matt served about 3 times at 24 to take the match, and on the last one he hit the ball directly into the ground, and Tyler went in there and got 2 points and won.
Well, that kind of kills my narrative a bit. I was thinking it was all Tyler's comeback, but Tyler's just hanging in there, and he hasn't actually. I don't think he's played actual tournament competition since last year's epic 33-35 loss to Nadi, where he tore his left shoulder actually off of his body. Did not opt for surgery though. Went the natural way and just rehabbed it.
Well, it helps to be a doctor that specializes in that exact same thing.
He knew what he had to do and he did it.
Tyler just picks up everything. Look at this. Marcos is blasting balls at Tyler. Longest rally of this match is going to end here with Marcos.
That should do it right there. And it, oh my gosh, what a re-kill. That is clutch and double clutch. Tyler executing a beautiful shot, but not quite beautiful enough.
Need a towel?
My gosh, that was a long rally. And
they're working each other well, not giving each other anything. And the first mistake, Tyler pounces on it, but so there it is. There's where the first opening in the whole rally. Oh, and he's so unlucky that it hit right before the wall to pop up.
And how did Tyler miss that last one? It's almost like he jumped over it. Now you're getting some comedy relief from the players themselves.
But Tyler hit it low enough on the front wall, but he hit the one spot on the first bounce where it would pop back up to Marcos. That was about 2 or 3 inches off the front wall, but then hits the floor right before the sidewall, giving Marcos time for the re-kill.
And you saw right before that replay those two slapping each other's hands. It just shows you how close these guys are. And Tyler, certainly not even playing much handball at all, is holding true to his past successes.
I've got Marcos serving 23-22.
Short.
Marcos thought he'd try to put a couple more MPHs on that one. It's a short
Still got a little bit in the tank there, as he's going after his 190th point of the weekend. And he answers right back, but not. Boy, that's remarkable.
How did Marcos get that next shot?
Perfect anticipation. He knew the only thing Tyler could do with that, and he got there.
Are you serious? Marcos is going to get this one too, and so is Tyler. Marcos pushes it down. Tyler tries for it, and the crowd gives him a round of applause, and there's going to probably be a timeout. Have to bring the respirator machine out here for these old guys. That was an incredible rally.
That's just saving the best for last, and it's been a quality match all the way through, but gosh, look at this point.
Down there or no?
This is the replay.
Nope.
Tyler with the first seemingly re-kill, but it's not a kill because Marcos gets
I
it.
just thought Tyler went down on the right side.
Tyler's smart pass there. That would have won against 90% of the people in the. Wow.
Tyler almost back up to that last one there.
But Marcos's get on that perfect two-wall pass from Tyler.
22.
That was remarkable. Here it is.
Chavez at 190 now, going for 191.
Well, that 191 will actually, I believe, give him the title. And he gets it right there.
The
Marcos takes down
rollout.
Tyler Hamel, 25-22, mutual respect. Tyler wins the, Marcos wins the senior race stop #1 in Houston with that 25-22 entertaining match, and the crowd really enjoying it here in Houston. John, this was a fun one.
That was remarkable. That was super high quality, as we already said. Very few air. We had JKK here to count them. Probably less than 3 hand errors per player. And Marcos, true to form, with his 6th or 7th match win of the weekend, immediately comes to the booth, and we're going to hear from him what his thoughts in the match.
Yeah, we're going to get Marcos Chavez here in the broadcast booth just to do a real quick talk, because he has another match he has to play immediately following against Robbie McCarthy for 5th place in the race event. Marcos, some of the best handball we've seen in this whole tournament happened right there at the very end when the fireworks started happening. Great get on that 2-wall pass that Tyler gave you at the very end, and you tracked it down. Right prior to that, you were on the floor, and then he was on the floor, and then prior to that, you were on the floor. I mean, it got crazy. What happened in there?
Oh, Tyler was putting the pressure on, David Chapman style, where he was just placing the ball, great ball placement, and I mean, he really wore down my legs. I knew he was going to do something like that, where he would just make me make the errors, and he just punch everything back. So it was difficult. He's playing really good though.
It seemed to me that you were pounding balls right at him multiple times, and you just kept doing those Dave Chapman kind of like soft underhand paddle. Like it seems like a lot of us, when we get into that scooping motion, it's not very good, because as we look at this replay here, it's not a good thing when you get into that underhand scoop thing, because the guy's just teeing off on you, but he was handling it perfectly, pushing it back down the walls and making you run back and forth. You have to be one tired puppy right now.
Yeah, all these matches, the whole tournament, and then come to the final here, which was pretty important to win, And I mean, I'm exhausted, but I'm gonna have one more match after this, and then I'm
sleep
done.
for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll sleep till Denver or New York.
Here's some more. Yeah, here's some more replays. There's a great get right there, and then you do kind of a modified dive in there. This last one, he could have tracked that down if he got up quicker.
Yeah.
And I think a fresher him could have possibly have done it, but I mean, you guys eventually are going to have to just get tired, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's in great shape for not playing at all, really. And I might give my hats off to him. He's playing really good. He's just keeping that pressure and making me make the errors. And I just wasn't prepared for that. So
it was a fun match for us, but was it fun for you?
It was great. It's funny. The senior tour is not like the pro tour. He hits a nice shot, or I hit a nice shot, and we're both saying good shot to each other.
Yeah. Right.
So it's a new club, I guess. I'm entered in, and it's a great one. And when I'm about 45, maybe you and I can play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thanks for coming by. I was telling the guys earlier that what separates the seniors from some of the other brackets, like the pro brackets, are you guys step in the court and start talking about wives and kids, and you know, you have a history together that's a little bit different. You've been through the trials and tribulations of the pro tour. Now you're in different life places, and you notice that match was just well reffed. You guys all had the referee, you and Tyler all have a great history and friends, and it was easy to do, and it must be relaxing to go in there and actually have all that take place.
Yeah, well, you have Nadi, last year's senior tour winner, and then you have two guys, him and I, who've been playing on the pro tour for 15, 20 years, and then now starting businesses and going into, like you said, with some type of camaraderie where, you know, we're talking about our lives. When before it was just about handball.
Yeah.
So it's great, and I really appreciate you doing something like this, you know, for the pro players.
Yeah, it's fun, and I appreciate the fact that you appreciate it. Anything you want to say to your sponsors? I know that this was a trip that could have been canceled. It was canceled. Your flight was due to weather conditions here in Houston, and then you've had some sponsors help you out, and those back home that are supporting you. Anything you'd like to say before you go?
I really like to give a great thank you to Tom Kopp. You know, he purchased basically 2 tickets for me to come here, and you know, without him, you know, I probably wouldn't have been here. So, you know, with flights canceled and many flights, you know, not coming into Houston, it was very difficult. And I got the last one out of LA, so I'm very grateful to Tom and Owen Gloves.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you, Marcos. You won the seniors. Now you have that 5th place matchup. If you lose, you're in 6th at the race stop, which is something that not a lot of players have ever done. If you win, you win 5th place and get more ranking points. You're going up against Robbie McCarthy here for that, so that'll be fun. That one's coming up next. So anyway, I want to congratulate you on a great tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks for also being resourceful and finding ways to get that flight taken care of. We are going to go out to the doubles action on this court. They're bringing it over between Anthony Selestow and Dave Chapman and Dan Armijo and Luis Moreno. We'll have more handball here as we give you extended bonus coverage of the Open Doubles Pro Finals right now here at racefor8.com, and might as well just go ahead and just stay right here and continue this coverage. This is a bonus feed, as they say, and Anthony Selestow tries to pull a Marco Chavez there and go coast to coast, unable to get that get. Listen to the ref for the score here.
I didn't see screen. Side out.
Let's listen for that score.
9-3.
9 serves 3. It's 9-3 in this game, and I believe it is the first game of the Pro Doubles Finals. And Dan Armijo had a first strike setup and hit it right into the ground. John Bike back in the booth.
9-3.
I believe John knows if this is the first or second game. I'm
sorry, I don't. I was out. There's an incredible show going outside in the court right now. It's like the Rocket, the Houston Rocket cheer crew is practicing in front of our eyes. And they're trampoline, flip dunking. But I chose to watch this instead.
Point. 11-3.
Score here is 11-3. Luis Moreno, Tucson, Arizona. His doubles partner, Dan Armijo.
Side out.
Who's from places everywhere. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Yuma, Arizona, Rotan. You just name it. He has 3 different places he seems to live these days. And then Dave Chapman's from Welding Spring, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. And then Anthony Selestow from the state of Wisconsin, in a town that I don't know how to pronounce.
Mana.
Sounds good enough to me.
You do want to take a break and see some of this. You absolutely have to. And you can find out which game it is, but I'll hold down the fort for a minute here.
Okay. I'm going to go see what game we're in here because this looks like some extended bonus coverage that we're going to provide for you to the conclusion. So stay close.
Oh, he's going out into the 4-11. 2 serves coming.
This is a tough match to predict. I mean, Luis Moreno has already won the golden ball again as the man of the tournament, but boy, is that David Chapman good at doubles. And you got to figure
hand out.
Dan Armijo looking at a younger version of himself and Anthony Selestow. Anthony, remarkable court coverage. Really the only thing lacking in Chapman's game right now. So you would think Chapman and Selestow would be somewhat of a dream team. But Luis Moreno still the class of the field here. Oh, and he hits his partner with the ball. That's
point.
Luis, great mindset as a doubles player. Usually the better player on the team, but always very supportive of his partner, always gets the most out of him. As he said in his interview, his debriefing after winning the singles title, he's always looking for new things he can add to his own game. Luis says you don't want to be in this matchup here, trading ceiling shots with Dave Chapman. So that's how you get out of that. You say, okay, well, you hit a pretty good one there, but it was just a little below my shoulder to my offhand, so I'm going to kill it.
11-5.
That's why the ceiling shot is somewhat obsolete at the pro level right now. Chapman hit a ball within 1 foot of his final target and actually paid a heavy price for that small error.
Again.
Good call. Luis gets his hand on it after running around.
Yes, it was up. 11-5.
Just saying, David, Luis just proved why the ceiling shot is obsolete in the pro game now. I was feeling bad for him being stuck in a ceiling rally with David, but
12-5.
David hit a beautiful ceiling about shoulder high to Luis against the back wall, and Luis just rolled it out with his left. I said, oh yeah, that's a nice ceiling ball. You missed by a foot. Boom, you lose.
That's a big back wall setup for Dave. Takes
the other
skips
downside,
it.
and that's David, very uncharacteristic. David, king of the back wall.
12-5.
20 years running now. Even when he wasn't playing, Brady made a brief run at his title.
But 13-5.
The years that David was in retirement, he came out and hit 3 for 3 on back wall setups to keep 100%.
Again.
This is the X factor, is that amazing serve from Luis Moreno against Anthony Selestow. Dave Chapman has a way of returning serves that no other can do, but when you're being picked on by Luis, you could see lopsided scores even if you think that the teams are all matched up on paper pretty evenly. This is game number 1. They're playing the best 2 out of 3 to 21 breaker to 11. Anthony can't get that.
Point.
He was on it until the massive reverse took hold.
14-5.
Now bringing it to 14 to 5. Out game point, playing to 15. I apologize. So this is game 1 that has a chance to end right here. Now earlier on they were playing games to 21.
First game.
And that first game now at 15. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 4 minutes. Stay close. Game number 2 of the Pro Men's Doubles Finals extended bonus coverage here on this live broadcast with Luis Moreno and Dan Armijo winning 15 to 5 in game number 1. Number 2 right around the corner. Stay here at racefor8.com.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
At Shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
All right, time, guys. All right, second game to 15. Armijo, Moreno, yes, first service. Switch first service. 0-0.
Men's Pro Doubles Finals extended bonus coverage here on this live broadcast with Luis Moreno serving after winning the first game 15-5. It's game number 2, Pro Doubles Finals with Dave Chapman and his partner Anthony Selestow up against Luis Moreno and Dan Armijo. Now you might say to yourself, why would these top pros be even playing?
Exactly 1,000 reasons.
Yeah, that was just to say that they added prize money to this after, I believe the event started, or maybe a week before the event started. They added some extended prize money, $1,200 pot, and that drew out some big names like Robbie McCarthy and Dave Chapman and Luis Moreno and Anthony Selestow. Luis Cordova.
Dave Vincent.
I think if more players would have known about that prize money, you would have saw probably a.
They did fine as it was with the quality stack draw.
1-0.
Yeah, it might have been even better. And you're right, the matchup. This is almost an even match, except for when Moreno is serving to Selestow. That's just dictated the result so far. Just lots of fast points. In the old days, Chapman would have just put any partner he had in the I formation in this situation. Luis, an original member of the Idaho Spuds, a team that drafted very well, dominated year 1.
Side out. 0-2.
Big setup for Luis, sets up perfectly, powers it right through Dave Chapman's legs. Don't ever see that.
Was he hit? Okay.
Like the only other sport like this is golf, where you can just ask the player about a possible infraction and he will give you the accurate, honest answer.
Luis Moreno hit that ball so hard.
Although it's not happening so much in golf anymore. They're trying to get away with stuff and get nailed in the videotape. So now it's really only handball.
But Luis hit that ball so hard that
even the players beside Tiger Woods are still doing it. But
Luis hit that ball so hard that even Dave Chapman could not get his hand on it, which is very rare. But then it hit Dan Armijo, who was standing 38 feet back behind Dave, and that's why there was a side out.
Again.
He was trying to get out of Armijo's way, right? Luis is saying, from Luis's standpoint, that's an obvious avoidable.
Right.
But what Anthony was actually doing was trying to get out of Armijo's right-handed shot, get out of the way of that. So you can't really fault him for that.
I agree with you.
He thinks that Armijo's going to take it right-handed, and he ends up stepping into Luis's left.
Skip side.
Even Dan knew that Luis's left was the better option. Everybody in our vast viewing audience, and everybody on the court knew that was Luis's left-handed shot, except Anthony.
Hit you. 2 coming. Side out. Zero two. Hand out. 0-2. Point.
Lob to the right. Chapman trying to turn this around with the lob serve to Armijo's strong hand. David opting to go ceiling again. See what Luis does with this.
Point.
See if David can get them in his web. This is what he's known for, just taking people off their game.
Boy, I've seen that a few times from Dave. You almost have to come in, and Moreno's telling him too right now, you have to come in and take that right on the short hop. Don't let it come off the back wall.
Especially in doubles, Luis can cover him if it hits the wall in a position Dan can't play it.
And Dan, listen, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Point.
And this is what David does. Moreno would never miss that shot in a typical fast-paced game, but David is just taking it to his own pace right now. A bit of trivia from before that 3 years ago, David was the #1 player before that forced retirement for his knee issues. And this is what he was doing to these guys. He was just playing the game at his pace and taking them out of their games.
About 3 weeks ago, Dan Armijo and I played against Luis Moreno 2-on-1 in Tucson in a little warm-up match. And Luis just toyed with us.
2-4.
Now they're partners.
If you're going to play his pace, he's probably going to win. Unless your name's Paul Brady.
2 coming.
And even then, you're going right down to the wire.
Well, you knew how serious. You knew how serious Luis Moreno was when he came into the booth to argue a call that we didn't even get to see before while they're on a different court.
Yeah, that was big time. You never hear Luis argue anything, but he did come in for an interpretation for this seemingly amateur event that's turned into a major pro event.
Hand out.
And with that, I agree. This is big time, so we're going to have big time Mr. David Fink take over now.
Okay.
Get his insights.
Thank you, John, as he hands the golden microphone off to David Fink for this game number 2. First one went to Moreno and Armijo by the score of 15-5.
It's actually platinum, Dave, just like the spoon I was raised with.
Well, we ate with our fingers, our trailer park. Can't relate to any of that. Wish I could, though. Sounds like it was interesting.
Anthony Selestow sticks out his left hand there, Dave. Normally, you never want your right side specialist to stick out the left, but if he's going to flat roll it, Dave.
Hit you. Replay.
Dave, you see Anthony Selestow, and he looks like one of the fittest people that you've ever seen in your life, yet we've seen him cramp in almost every tournament. How do you explain that?
I don't understand.
This guy doesn't have an ounce of body fat on him.
Not hydrating correctly, or?
Not really sure. Could it be something with the heat, Dave? He's used to living in a negative 70 degrees. He told me that tomorrow morning it'll be negative 70 in Wisconsin. Maybe he comes here and it's humidity and 50 degrees and his body doesn't react to it.
4-3.
Well, I think playing multiple matches a day and not hydrating can really do tricks to a body. You don't get that back home.
We want to welcome in the Selestow family, who's proudly watching the teen heartthrob, Anthony. They're overlooking the handball court in their living room. In fact, Dave, Mr. Selestow has said that he would love to host the pros. So could that be the first ever home race for 8 event? And when I say home, I mean actually in someone's home.
Again.
They're going to replay that.
And we've played at hotels, we've played at YMCAs, we've played at prestigious athletic clubs.
5-3.
But we've never played an event in someone's home.
Okay.
Dave.
Oh, it hit him. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, point.
There's so many firsts on the race for 8, Dave.
6-3.
Well, one of the things that we've never stopped saying since day number 1 is this only happens in handball. And if we were playing inside of a house, we would be doing the same exact thing. Only in handball would there be a handball court inside of a player's house. I wonder who would get home court advantage there.
Point.
We have played non-race events in houses.
8-3.
Jim Arlington, Alaska.
That's true.
That amazing footage that was lost.
Point.
It was filmed, but nobody got to see it, except for the cutting room floor.
9-3.
Well, now, Dave, it's Chapman and Selestow completely in control here after dropping game 1. Surprisingly.
And not to minimize, that conversation about having a court at somebody's house. During that match, it was pretty heated. The players are diving all over the court, playing as tough as they can. That Jim Arlington and his family watching all of the action from the courthouse, as it's called. And then somebody opened the door and a cat walked onto the court like no big deal. Like, I've been here so many times. This is my favorite place to hang out.
But we don't play court hinder, so it was part of the play.
3-10.
So there's a good story involved with everything, but the house cat just went in the middle of the court and just laid down during the middle of a timeout, so not a big deal. Cat likes that cold floor. That's a beautiful kill right there from Dave Chapman. He still has it this late in the tournament. Half out.
3-10.
3 serves 10. Going to 15, Dave. We didn't know that, and there's a skip from Chapman, which would have got a full side out.
4-10. Could this be a potential championship winning team, Chapman and Selestow? Selestow, you'd think, would have to be an ideal right side player, Dave. I mean, he's got high energy. He makes a lot of gets.
Side out.
And he's the kind of guy you want on your team. Could you see Chapman recruiting him for bigger events in the future?
10-4.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't see how Chapman and Emmett Pashot would ever break each other up there.
Well, you know, Emmett
11-4.
now very focused on his singles. He'll move into the top 5 after this event. I don't know how much doubles he'll want to play, but you're right, Dave. Chapman and Emmett are virtually unbeatable.
Side out.
Now you see some coaching right there from Chapman. He was upset that he didn't hit that, Selestow didn't hit that sidewall first. See what Moreno does here as he sets up and just cranks that ball.
I think that's the hardest ball he's hit in this entire weekend. This is his 8th match. Moreno's one of those guys, Dave, that you actually want to play first in a tournament. He just keeps getting better with each round, just like he does in practice. He's better in his 20th game of practice than he is in his first.
Point.
I made a joke on one of the social network sites.
5-11.
Luis Moreno was following it. I made the comment that I was going to be his doubles partner at the Nationals this year. There's a few comments, and then Moreno says to me,
Stand out.
I just want to let you know I'm not avoiding the fact that you asked me to play with you. I'm just letting to see how I play in Houston before I make any commitments. I was just doing it as a joke, and then he's actually taking it serious.
But
like,
are there really any jokes in the world? I mean,
side out.
Is there such a thing?
He said, I haven't responded yet, but
Time
just
out.
want to let you know I'm not ignoring you. I said, well, actually, you are ignoring me.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see I know that you came up short last night with Robbie McCarthy, but you and Luis Moreno against this team of Dave Chapman and Anthony Selestow.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Although Anthony seems to have your number just like he does Sean Lenning and Dave Chapman's.
Luis and I have played in a few tournaments and have had some wins and had some losses. We played at that Long Island Open tournament against Dave Chapman and Emmett Pashot, played them pretty tough, but then have won a couple World Outdoor Championships on the 3-wall court, which is something I don't specialize in, but for some reason Luis and I play that and have had success. Doesn't really make much sense, but I guess his game kind of suits that outdoor short court style, and we've done well there. But moreover, in the 4-wall court, we really haven't won tournaments together, but we've had some fairly good games. I don't think we're a national caliber style, but anything can happen at the Nationals. But if you're certainly going to play and try to win a national championship, you want to do it with a horse that knows how to win those titles. And he has done that before at the Nationals. Sean Lenning and himself won the 4-wall national championship. This is a doubles final with David Chapman and Anthony Selestow going up against Luis Moreno and Dan Armijo. And after that first game, you're wondering, will Dave Chapman and Selestow even score points in the second game? They lost 5-15 that first one. Here they have a pretty comfortable lead as there's a timeout being called. Giving you extended bonus coverage at racefor8.com. Dave, explain what was going on here at the Houston YMCA. The Houston Rockets halftime show decided to take over the auditorium, and it was just unreal. They had baton twirlers they were doing the slam dunk off the trampolines, and then.
Well, I didn't notice the cheerleaders. First of all.
Okay, yeah.
No, I didn't. I heard that the cheerleaders were out there and they were wearing skin tight.
First hand is in.
Spandex and
Armijo,
doing
Moreno,
cartwheels and flips. I didn't see them, but I did see, Dave, a bunch of people. I saw a guy do 6 flips in the air off a trampoline and dunk the ball.
Wow, I don't know how Anthony got that. And you hear the referee laughing.
Hand
Anthony actually swung and missed and then was able to recover and still get a hand on it off the back wall. And the referee's laughing, but the fact is you can keep blasting balls at this kid and he just gets them back somehow. 11-5.
Well, Luis completely twisted Anthony in a pretzel there with that 2-wall pass. And Dave, I don't have the record book with me, but I would venture to say that Dan Armijo has never won a match against Dave Chapman in singles or doubles.
Look at those hands. Dave Chapman standing above the foot fault line with Luis Moreno just hitting balls as hard as possible, and he's still able to get him back.
Oh. Side out.
That was impressive. The only open spot on the court was that exact same spot, and Luis decided to hit it 100 miles an hour.
5-11.
You saw how Dave Chapman was setting up for something really big to happen his direction, and it didn't happen.
Short.
Moreno can hit power from
Second.
any position on the court, even if his body's turned the wrong way.
Luis went for the deep crack there. Didn't quite get it.
Chapman has sneaky hooks that a lot of people don't think exist, and if you don't respect it, you're going to get burned. And
5-11.
And you see right there, he does. It's this really methodical hook that fooled Luis Moreno. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was actually going to say exactly the same thing. So
I just call it sneaky hooks because you just really can't read any. I mean,
well,
I guess
when you think about the great hop artists in the game, you think about Luis Moreno and Sean Lenning, but Dave Chapman's name doesn't really come up. But he can put wrinkle on the ball, enough to make you look foolish sometimes.
But he's a guy that does it in the rally. A lot of these other guys do it on just the serve. And look at Dave Chapman, knows exactly where Luis is going to go. Goes for that corner kill, misses it.
Uncharacteristic miss, and you feel like Moreno and Armijo are very much alive in the second game after trailing 11-3. And remember, we're only playing to 15, so it appeared the game was close to being over, but I don't get the sense at all that this second game is over.
Look how Chapman just does that.
Good call.
And Dave, Anthony needs to change that shirt, Dave. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, the referee needs to step in and say something.
Yeah. I mean, cotton is so 1990s.
8-11.
Why you'd even carry a cotton shirt with you.
So you're saying that cotton was popular before Anthony was born?
Point.
I didn't even know people still wore cotton to work
First
out.
time out at 9 plays 11.
And you're right, this game is not over, 9-11, and now you see a handshake there from Dan Armijo, and Luis Moreno also converging to talk a little bit about what's going on here. Referee should take this time to tell the player to change his shirt.
Well, Anthony's been doing laundry 24 hours a day at the house, so it's not as though he doesn't have more shirts.
You're watching extended coverage here, bonus coverage, game number 2 of the men's pro doubles finals. We didn't even have this match on our radar. We knew that this was probably going to be the potential finalist before the tournament started, and even when the broadcast schedule was made. But at the time, we didn't know there was a huge prize purse at this, which means that the players are going to try a little bit harder. And once it came up on the schedule, we said we just can't deny this. We have to put it on. And it's one of those fun ones to watch because if you really are an aficionado of handball play, like to watch strategy, you can really pick out some pretty cool things that you're seeing in this court here, and appreciation for the game.
It works out well for us because we get overtime for this match, which is, we get time and a half of 0.
Give me 1 sec, hold on.
So what does that come out to?
0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then everyone wins.
Okay. Each
By
have
everyone,
2 timeouts
you mean
remaining.
everyone
Second
except us.
server's in. 9 plays 11.
Referee still not allowing or telling the player to change his shirt. And the player not taking the initiative to do it himself.
Well, I would think it would be uncomfortable to wear a soaking wet cotton shirt. I mean, that's cold to be in there. And Armijo just not able to react to that blast. And that's a big side out.
11-9.
And look at that huge hop. Even Chapman couldn't anticipate or react to it. That's that hop that's right down the middle. The sidewalls can't help you.
11-9.
We asked Luis Moreno to explain to us
Side
what his
out.
goals were for Houston, and he said he wants to win every battle plus the war.
9-11.
That's a response. And we're back.
Incredibly, Dave, the line has blurred between the senior tour and the regular race tours.
Hand out.
These guys are almost equal.
Yeah.
You see Marco Chavez barely winning the senior
9-11.
race for 8. He was a couple of inches from making the semifinals of the main race for 8.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course, Tyler Hamel almost beats, and Luis Moreno skips 2 shots now.
out.
Tyler Hamel almost beats Marco Chavez, who almost made the semifinals. So he's another guy that's in the
11-9.
conversation. Tyler Hamel almost lost in the first round of the senior race for 8, fighting off 5 match points.
You have to give credit here to Anthony Selestow playing really tough over there. Look at that shot, almost gets it, and Luis Moreno knows it, and there's just a half out. But Anthony's really playing a good ball in here. They seem to have a really cool
11-9.
chemistry between Chapman and Selestow.
Well, Selestow has a good chemistry with pretty much everyone.
It's like Geppetto and Puppet Boy.
Well, I think what you saw in that last rally where Chapman yelled help and Selestow
out.
wasn't ready, that's just from them not playing together enough. If they had a couple more tournaments under their belt, you'd see Selestow prepared to hit that shot. But sometimes you're playing with Chapman and you think that he's going to take everything up in the
9-11.
front. He will let things go because he knows where you are. Not a good shot there from Luis. And a great pass shot from
Hand out.
Anthony Selestow. Luis went to his soft paddle there.
9-11.
Unsuccessfully. Dan Armijo, Dave, 50 years old.
51 now.
He's, I think, fitter than I've ever seen him. I've never seen him this lean. He's still hitting the ball great. And here he is in a pro final with the guy who was ranked #1 in the world 3 years ago, the guy who's currently #1 in the world, and the giant killer,
10,
Anthony
11.
Selestow. And he's hanging, Dave.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, unbelievable.
I thought was kind of interesting in that last rally is Luis Moreno powered 2 balls right at Dave Chapman and didn't get anywhere, and decided then to power at Selestow, who was standing 10 feet behind Chapman, and Selestow just got all hand-tied immediately. Shows you how quick Dave Chapman's hands are. And there's a point we're all together at 11, and you see Armijo trying to pump up his team.
11-11.
Armijo is actually the one that's getting the points on his serve. I don't think it's the serve really that's doing it. It just happens to be the way it is.
Great hands there from Luis.
Oh, nice kill right there from Selestow, and this could be a tough ball to get back.
And Luis turns a Selestow kill into a rally-ending high 2-all pass.
That I was surprised didn't make it back to the
12-11.
front wall, because Selestow's been making crazy gets all tournament. And here it is. Watch this perfect flick.
Well, that was an Emmett Pichot somersault. And now Chapman's struggling to end rallies, but Armijo with a hand air there, he could have taken another step back as that ball was not moving that fast, and played that with his left
11-12.
hand.
11 serves 12. Ooh, I don't know how that ball didn't hit Dan. It did, actually.
Point.
And there's a point. That's costly. Armijo just could not get out of the way, and his headband, the ball hit the headband as it went behind his back.
12-12.
And look at that headband.
And just out of sorts, the same serve again, which wasn't the greatest serve, Dave. Very much returnable.
13-12.
2 straight aces.
I think Armijo's playing that wrong. He's just putting himself almost in Luis's way. in that fifth place match in the main draw. Marco Chavez down at halftime 10-15 versus Robbie McCarthy.
13-12.
Here, though, it's 13-12 going to 15. Selestow and Chapman trying to get 2 more points to force a tiebreaker.
It is win by 1 here, Dave.
Short.
This is the second server.
See what Chapman does here.
If Chapman and Selestow are unable to close out this game here, it'll be Luis Moreno and Dan Armijo with 2 servers to score 3 points to win the match.
Why did Chapman elect to hit that serve to Luis Moreno on his first serve when they need 2 points? You would think that he'd want to put pressure on Dan Armijo with a soft lob maybe down the right wall.
Well, sometimes when you've iced a returner for so long, you throw in a serve that he's not expecting.
Short.
I like Dan Armijo's approach on that first serve. He opens up his feet really wide, putting a lot of coverage in that server's box.
Well, he's a veteran. Really understands the game.
Oh, look at that flat roll, now tying it at 13.
Well, Selestow has to get that return, hit it harder, and push Moreno out of the server's box. He just popped one up. Now 13-all, 2 points from Luis Moreno slam. And Dave, how often have we seen Luis Moreno slam?
Happens almost at every time he plays 2 ways.
Yeah. Good backup there from Selestow.
And Selestow overruns it. Doesn't affect him, though. Chapman's hands are so quick, he just can't hit anything over there. And he does it again. Oh, and Selestow gets that screen ball back, no complaint, and then can't get that. And he's going to look up to the referee here and wonder what happened.
Well, that was a smart shot there from Moreno, as Selestow had to guess. He guessed the right corner where Moreno had shot 3 in a row.
Match point.
And instead, Moreno just blast one behind him.
Now 1 point away, match point, Luis Moreno. Dan Armijo trying to get that title. Now this is going to be a tee off for Moreno. Goes down over there to Selestow. Selestow puts a hand on it, still overhits. Luis going to power that ball. Chapman's going to get it back. And now it's Luis playing 2-on-1 here. And Luis wants
I'll tell you, even if he is playing most of these rallies, Dan Armijo will be the happiest guy in this building if they win this.
That's true. And look at that shot from Luis Moreno. Closes it out with a 1-inch high kill shot and a huge hug from Dan Armijo. And the crowd putting their hands together here. You're right, Dan Armijo's completely happy with
Well, what's so funny, Dave, about this tournament is Armijo showed up in Tucson a couple weeks ago, called up Moreno, played some singles and some 2-on-1 with him, and texted Moreno a couple days later, hey, we're entered in the doubles in Houston. Never asked them, just told Luis that they were entered. Luis said, well, here they are.
He goes, well, I don't know. I mean, your name's on the draw, and you're with me, so we're playing. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And that, I guess that's another one of those things where you say only in handball would that happen, but there's that huge hug right there. Luis Moreno taking in $1,000 in cash on that hug right there.
Wow.
Because Dan Armijo is donating a portion of his winnings to Luis. So instead of taking $600 for himself and Luis getting $600, he's donating $400 of his own.
Wow.
And now Luis gets $1,000 for that 15-15 shellacking there. That they just put on the other team. Now, I guess maybe it wasn't necessarily a shellacking since there was 13 points in that second game, but the first one was 15-5. We are going to take a timeout. I don't even think we have another match that we're going to broadcast live, right? Are we done?
Dave.
Okay, so that timeout's going to be about a month?
A little over a month.
Okay, so it's a long timeout is what you're saying.
Yes.
I want to thank Omar Lemus, the Houston Handball Club, Jeff Castor, Linda Manning, Chris Garrad, the wizards behind this live broadcast and everything you see, as well as David Fink to my left. Also, congratulations to you for doing it. You're number 2 on the WPH Power Rankings. Obviously, you had a great tournament, Dave. Also, the help that you've done behind the plate, as they say, and also the boiler plates.
There will be a BP tonight.
Okay, and want to thank you for tuning in, you being those wherever you are at, watching this live broadcast, supporting the WPH Race for 8. It's been a fun event, and we've had a great time. So we'll catch you at the next one, which is going to be in New York in less than a month, I believe. So we'll have more action then. For all those at home, thanks for tuning in at racefor8.com.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.